Hi, I'm Melinda Wild. Welcome to Experience Watercolors. So this isn't really a class. I'm going to call it just a mini splash because I want to show you a couple cool things you can do if you end up creating a section of your painting that you're pretty happy with overall as far as shape and design goes, but it's kind of got a big flat area where nothing's really going on and it's all painted homogeneously the same color. So a couple things you can do. First off, you can drop in some extra color while it's damp. Just grab, say maybe in this case a bit of yellow, and drop it in. Now here's a little word of caution if you do this. Don't futz around with it. Once you get it on there, just leave it alone. It'll find its own way. If you start fooling around with it, trying to move it around too much, what'll happen is it'll just get homogeneous all over again, and you'll end up with a slightly lighter but boring section. Okay, another thing you can do, if you have a brush with a handy dandy chiseled edge, you can use that as your scraper. You can buy these fun scrapers at almost any art store or even a dollar store. Or my favorite go-to tool, probably the best thing you can do with your credit card, is cut up a credit card. And you can do some scratching. So if you scratch while it's damp, you're actually scoring the paper and you're creating a little divot, and the pigment's going to run into that little divot. And that's going to give you some interesting shapes. You can make maybe some extra trees in this deep dark forest, which is kind of a fun thing to do. Then the other thing is exactly the same, except you have to wait a minute, and as the shine is just leaving, it's at that point where if you scrape, it will actually separate the pigment. Okay, not dry enough yet here. I'm going to take this to the dryer just so that we don't waste too much time waiting for paint to dry. There we go. I think that's going to be dry enough now. See how now it will actually separate the pigment, and that's going to leave a white spot, which can give you more interesting shapes, maybe some tree trunks in there. There we go. So the time to do this one is right as the shine is leaving. In certain areas where it's a little too damp yet, where I dropped in that yellow, see it didn't really work, it's going to go dark. That's fine too. It's a lovely technique. There we go. You can get some lights and some darks, kind of gives you the idea of the sun shining through a dappled forest. Okay, so there's something you can do. If you create a blob in your painting that has kind of nothing exciting going on, have a go at dropping in some color while it's damp, grabbing your chiseled edge brush or your credit card or any kind of scraper and having a scrape. Earlier you get a dark line, later you get a light line. Okay, have fun.